Okay, we're going to show you how to use the trailing stop with AutoScaler. These are a couple of presettings I like to use. 3 additional trades, 5 pips apart. We're leaving everything else on the defaults. Falses for your manual trades. Everything else is going to be 0. We're just putting in a 10 pip trailing stop. And since it's taken me like 4 days to try to find a trade that actually moves enough that I can get a good recording, what I've decided to do is I'm putting in both a sell and a buy trade here, and we're just going to record and wait until we get the required amount of price action so they can at least demonstrate how this works. So what will end up happening is I'm going to pause this here in a second, and we'll jump ahead and pick things up when action finally gets started. All right, action's getting started. We're moving down. Looks like the sell trade is going to be to go, and you can see the red line just appeared on in the middle of the chart. That's the 10 pip trailing stop. And when you're selling, it is trailing 10 pips behind the actual buy price, because when you exit a sell trade, you're technically buying to get out of the trade. When you exit a buy trade, you're technically following the sell price and getting out of the trade that way. Now, this trade will show something kind of interesting when all you use is a trailing stop. If you don't use any preset stop losses on your trades, you're going to notice here in a second we move down almost to the point where we get the required 10 pips to add the trailing stop to the last trade, but we don't actually make it. So what happens here, and we're going to jump ahead here in a second and show you what happens. Price is going to turn around and move up and take out all the trades that the trailing stop was attached to, but you're going to notice there's still one trade, which is the last trade. Price only moved about 9 pips below the last trade, so we never did attach the trailing stop to it, and you can see there it is. It's underneath the current price line, but as the price moves up, you can see there it is. So we actually have a stop here, so we got to get rid of that, clear that out. And now let's move over to the next option, which is using the trailing stop, but also using a fixed stop at the same time. So we're going to change the follow manual stop loss to true. I'm going to put in a 20 pip stop loss on this trade. We're going to go ahead and leave the trailing stop at 10 pips. And this is only for demonstration purposes. I'm not recommending you use a 10 pip stop loss. I'm just trying to do something so we can get this demonstration done and show you what's going on. Put in the buy trade, put in the sell trade, and then hope it doesn't take more than 3 or 4 hours for price action to move the required amount of pips to be able to demonstrate this. Unfortunately, it took about an hour, actually. As you're going to see, we're going to jump ahead here in a second. And we actually triggered 2 buy trades and 1 sell trade in that hour, but we never got the required 10 pips away from the buy or sell price that we needed to get the trailing stop activated. So this was probably the longest hour of my life, at least recently anyway, sitting there watching price basically just grind away. And this is like 9 o'clock in the morning, by the way. London's open, New York's open, all sorts of crazy Brexit issues and things going on, and this turned out to be one of the flattest hours I think I've ever traded, at least in the last probably 6 months. So anyway, a lot of video left to go. This is about a 9-minute long video. I don't have a whole lot left to say, except when things finally start happening, you'll notice, in a minute there you go, right there. So you notice that we lost our fixed stop at the bottom, which was where the buy trade fixed stop loss of 20 was placed. It's now a trailing stop because we got 10 pips past the original entry price. The sell price got 10 pips past that, and so now it will continue to move up as price moves up. Now on this trade, not to basically give away the ending here, we never go quite all the way up to the top. I think we end up with 1 trade left that was essentially unexecuted. And when that happens, by the way, what you'll notice, it'll be another minute or so before we get there, but what happens is, though, that the fixed 20 pip stop loss that we had used originally just remains parked now wherever the trailing stop happened to be for this trade. And so we're not really 20 pips away on this last trade. I think the trailing stop actually is only about 8 pips or 9 pips away from this last trade that remains unexecuted, and you will see that here in a moment. For those of you who don't have AutoScaler, you can pick it up at AutoScaler.com. You don't need the www anymore. We've switched over to a WordPress site, so we've lost the www stuff, but it's ForexAutoScaler.com. There you see, now we've moved over. We hit the trailing stop loss, so we're out of 3 of the 4 trades. The last trade does remain executed. Now, the red line at the top is your 20 pip stop loss on the sell trades. And you're going to see that move here in just a second. As price, we've jumped ahead a few pips or a few minutes now, and price has moved down. It turned out that the 10 o'clock hour was far more active than the 9 o'clock hour was for trading the pound yen. So this actually was a pretty good day actually to do this. You get to see, basically both sides of the equation here. Really nothing really left to say except just watch. It's going to take a few more minutes. You'll get to see. We'll watch the moving of the trailing stop here. I tried to cut this a little tighter and try to move out some of the dead spots, but I don't think I was terribly successful, or else I've already forgotten some of the things that I wanted to say. Now, you notice we jumped ahead about 10 minutes here, and the trailing stop loss is now just slightly on the wrong side of the last trade. I think the last trade is sitting with a stop loss like -1 or -2 at this point. So all it really is going to take is one more decent move to the downside, and the stop loss will have trailed into profit on all 4 trades. That's obviously what you want. Now, I will tell you, I am not a huge fan of using trailing stops, and yesterday is a classic example of that. I mean, after shooting the raw portion of this video, which we did on, I believe it was Tuesday. I think it was, it's the 13th. Today's the 15th. So, we shot this on Tuesday. So, yesterday, I'm in a trade, or I see a trade setting up. In fact, I'm using Cynthia's Neon setup. And I put in the sell trade. I auto-scaled 3 additional trades in, 3 pips apart. I then just put on the 10 pip trailing stop because I wanted to do this in real life, real money trade, and see how this worked. And it took about 10 minutes or so. Not much is happening. I actually had triggered 2 of the 4 trades. And then one of those typical Brexit spikes happened. Somebody said or did something about Brexit, and price spiked about 40 pips. And I'm thinking I just had this huge score because this should have, triggered all 4 trades. It's the price is down 35-40 pips from the original entry, and what happened was when price spiked, it basically leapfrogged everything, and it filled my last 2 trades down near the bottom of the spike. And with the trailing stop in place, by the time price turned around and moved back up, my 3rd trade closed at -2 pips, and my 4th trade closed, I think, +1 pip or something, for negative -1 pip on those 2. Now, the good news was the original 2 trades were already active, so I picked up like 30, 35, and 33 pips, I think it was, on the first 2 trades. So, I mean, I can't really complain. I made a decent score, but that spike really hurt in terms of the fill. And I guess I could probably go and bitch about it to the broker, but it's just not worth it. That you see now with this last move, we've gotten the stop losses moved below the last of the trades that we had going on here, and so now it's just a matter of, are we going to continue to move down and lock in more profit, or is it going to turn around and take us out? And it's as I'm speaking, is moving down. But notice how quickly that moved, though. That was what I really wanted to show on this whole thing, was that one bar. You notice how as the price moved down, you saw how quickly the platform adjusted the stop loss as well. So it's nice to know that when you get moves like that, this covers you immediately. Now, you do have to have the platform open for this to happen. It's one of those, you can't just shut everything down and hope for the best. You do need to leave the platform open when you have your trailing stop going. And now we're going to move up. We're going to take it out. All 4 trades would have gone out in profit. This would have been a highly profitable trade had we actually been in it for real money and not using a demo account to try to demonstrate price action. But anyway, that's how it works. You can either use it with or without a fixed stop, and then once the trail kicks in, it erases the fixed stop, and you're now trailing for the rest of the trade. So hopefully that makes sense, and if you want to use the trailing stop on your trades, it's there for you.